You're listening to From Here to Hell and Back Again, and we're going to have George on for part three shortly. I wanted to tell you about the work camp experience story, and there was pieces of this interview that I want to take away from. This story is also archived in the Chicago Museum. It's about the corruption of a Pennsylvania state hospital and the community at large that went pretty much looked the other way. Um, what George described in the first two interviews is that his dad was basically living in a work camp. And by today's standards, we know that as a work camp is more or less internment. And this happened here in Pennsylvania in 1947, and it went on for almost up to 1980. The interview with Wendell Rawls is archived again, and you can listen to it online right now if you choose to decide to listen to it. It is about internment camps, and Pennsylvania is one of the worst states for these type of what we know today is an atrocity. And when we talk to the Justice Department, we're telling you at every level, representatives, state representatives, other people who work at different levels of government, when they were aware of what was going on in Wayne County, and this was in 1947, I believe, 1950 and 1960 into 1982. George literally found his dad almost dead. I mean, his dad basically had what they call a chemical lobotomy. And there are conditions and let's just say the story doesn't just end at what happened to George's dad. It's happening even today with the psychiatric industry, which is prevalent with these type of problems, that they always have a pill for every problem, more or less. And let's just say there's a lot of corruption, and then forced inoculations is not nothing. When we talk about the state hospital and the corruption, there's nowhere else in the United States than Pennsylvania that has this type of corruption going on. And what George from Arizona and a lot of people who've moved out of Pennsylvania is because of the dark stain that this is leaving. Families are impacted for the rest of their lives over this. So by the time we talk to the Justice Department, there have been children, families who've been falsely imprisoned for pennies to the dollar, because in these work camps, now today's standard, people who are in prisons, they actually get money. That was not the case in Wayne County. And as the story unfolds, you will know more about the crime assistance and more about the justice that needs to be, not for only George's family, other families. It would take years to find all the families that were impacted, who were victims of this. There are also a lot of families who think their family's crazy and they don't invite or visit their family at all. Not on birthdays, not on holidays, not on anything. And that's the history of some of these families. That's why Department of Human Services got involved to begin with, because a lot of children and families who've been treated like crazy people ended up being falsely in prison. And the cases of false imprisonment where families don't visit their own family, they investigate a lot of the families in what goes on. And what happened is a lot of these families, what they do is they incarcerate their own family. They make up false stories, and it becomes a story of fraud. So each case is treated differently. I would like you guys to know that most families who care about each other, they visit each other, they go to holidays, they go on vacations, they go to restaurants, go out to dinner. and they treat each other with humanity. So when we get to the end of this, the justice really is how you treat one another. And really, I know when we finish part 2 up into 3, you'll really get the best part of the story. Thank you.